All right, Tuomas Holopainen. This is Lifetime of Adventure. It's the official video. This is his solo project. For those of you that don't know, he is the one that is the composer for Nightwish. And I am a fan of his work for Nightwish, so I'm assuming I will be a fan of this, though this is his solo project. I'm interested to see how the lyrics will go. I have the lyrics up over here. I have the video on 3 pages here and then 1 here. So if you see me looking here, this is the video. All the way over here is the lyrics. Right here is you. So let's get going. Okay, so in doing my little intro here, I have to give an opinion on the song without hearing a whole lot, which makes it very difficult on me, but it's kind of the fun part of these videos. To be rich is to still remember. I don't know where we're going with that. I don't like to read the lyrics ahead. It's one of the reasons why I don't usually put the lyrics up, but for Tuomas' songs, I want to do that because I love what he writes. So I want it for this, but I have to be careful not to read ahead as to give spoilers to myself. I want to reveal it to myself in context. I don't know where we're at right now. To be rich is to still remember. In context, the rich is not going to be monetary wealth. It is going to be an offshoot of saying, or it's going to be the split of duality there. Of you think you're rich by money. I am rich to still remember. I hope that's what I'm guessing for right now. I hope that I am accurate in that. Let's keep going. Yes, I think I'm right. I think I am accurate. To seek is to be rich. And I think about my journey in life, going from, the Marine Corps, all that we went through, and then the depression, the different things, and then the recovery from that has been a constant life of seeking. Even this YouTube channel where I'm talking to a bunch of people from all over the world about music, it's still part of seeking, because part of me wants to show the world some of these things I've learned with the human mind and how to work with people and how to move past certain traumas. But when I was doing it in this academic framework where I would go to schools and universities and speak. But you know who's in the schools and universities? Some of the elites. And I have to play phone tag, where I have to trust that the message I deliver there gets delivered to the student who's struggling or the person who's struggling. And I don't know if that always happens. In fact, I'm sure in many cases it doesn't. And so I wanted to find a way to where I could talk to people at a level that mattered to them. Now, I didn't do this YouTube thing for that. That's not what this was. I just started doing some videos and y'all blew me up, thousands of y'all. And that's because it organically became that, because I played a song and it spoke to me, and it was actually by Tuomas. And it spoke to me, and I began to bare my soul, not thinking I was going to do that. I thought I was just going to talk about the music, but instead it ignited something in me to speak about these things, and here we are. You know, here we are, able to talk about some things. We had a really tough song we talked about earlier. And, you know, this isn't necessarily a song where we're getting into the depths of soul, but we're getting into things that are very profound to some people. To seek is to be rich. And I've spent my life seeking, at least the recent years. And I believe that wholeheartedly, that to seek is to be rich. You know, those that don't seek, you know, what is it that they wake up for, other than the factory line and the repetitive day after day? I talk a lot about Dr. David Robertson, my mentor, my friend, but also a co-founder in Auxesis with me, and Cam and Lance. But I think about his adversity nexus theory that he has published in journals, and there is a piece in it that talks about the seeking. And it literally says, once you seek, once you have, in his theory, it would be called the desire. So you have adversity, and after adversity, you have desire. And the desire, you will have the growth, the riches. But that doesn't mean monetary. Could it? Sure, it absolutely could. But that's not what it means here, and it's not what it means with Dr. David Robertson. It means growth. It means you have the desire, the seeking, and then you experience growth. And so this resonates with me quite a bit. And Tuomas does not disappoint, never does. You know, I think I could just read his work. I wouldn't even need to hear the music. I think the music is great. The music is a beautiful byproduct of it, but I could just read it and understand it. So let's keep going. I love the vocals on this too. Her voice is very playful, and somebody said that it was based on the comic, and that's a beautiful nuance that I don't know that I was expecting. So let's keep going. I'm loving the lyrics. Song is great too.
Started off your life, time of solitude and strife, freedom of an open road, hope and many miles to go, promises to keep, countless gold fields to reap, to be riches to seek, to relive the memory. All the strangers on your path
pause there. In reference to like, am I missing so much because I'm not familiar with the background? No, I don't believe that I am. Will I learn the background? Sure, but that's not who I am. And we definitely do not gatekeep music in this community. I am not missing, I'm sure I'm missing things. I'm always missing things. That's the whole point of this journey, is I'm always missing things. But as I've said so often, the artist, a true artist, wants me to feel the soul without the story, and then the story can unfold later. If I know the story in the background, it's a spoiler. It ruins it. Instead of it unfolding truly and through my eyes, a true artist wants me to paint myself a little bit into the story, because that's what they write it for. They want a connection that way. That's how we build connection with the artist. So I'm sure that I'll learn more about the story, and I'm sure that I'm going to find out some background to a lot of this, and that's what makes it beautiful. That's what lets me know, oh my gosh, was I right or was I wrong? And it allows me to become a contemporary to the art, as opposed to just being given everything and say, here it is, here's what this means, here's what that means, so that when you get to this road, you must make this interpretation. Because guess what? The very lyrics in this song say, to be rich is to seek, and I am seeking the meaning. If you gave me the gold out of the field, I never got the journey. Let me have the journey. Don't steal this journey from me. Let me unfold with this. Don't gatekeep. Don't spoil. Let me seek. Even Thomas appreciates that. The song has a beautiful message, and I'm sure that where it came from will unfold in time, and I cannot wait for that. The story of your life, time for solitude and strife, freedom of an open road. This is my open road. Hope and many miles to go. Well, promises to keep, countless gold fields to reap. Gold fields. The gold of the journey, the gold of what is there, not monetary, but just what is there is so beautiful to you and what is powerful to you. What you were seeking will be there, and you will have countless gold fields to reap. Because to be rich is to seek. And then you relive the memory. And that is so powerful. It's a beautiful song. Beautiful, beautiful song. And I want us all to keep that in mind as I'm going through this, because in the comment section, in the chat, I see a lot of people saying, I should have watched it in this order, I should have watched it in this order. Could not be further from the truth. And your own favorite writer tells you that. Because to be rich is to seek. And I will discover these songs in the way that they are discovered. And the meanings will come about in my mind. And will they be corrected? Yes, if I'm wrong. But the beauty will be me discovering that and seeking. Because as you've seen, I'll go through a song and I'll twirl myself up into these knots and all these balls and twisters, trying to uncover meaning in it, uncover stories and memories for me to relive, to share with you stories, and for you to uncover things that are mysteries of the mind that I had discovered, and maybe I discovered things from you. And we have this beautiful journey together. And so let's live this journey together, and let's all seek together through these lyrics and through this song. Whether I do them in order, whether I know the backstory, we'll learn it. Absolutely we'll learn it. This is a very hard journey for me too, because I want to binge all these songs and I can't. Have to watch one song at a time. But this is interesting. This is neat. I like this song. I like what's being said. I like the sound of it. It's beautiful. This was unexpected. This was unexpected because it's not Nightwish. And maybe it is. Maybe this sounds like something in Nightwish where like, oh no, it sounds like song X or song Y. And that's fine if it does. We'll get there again on this road that we are seeking together. We'll get there. But it doesn't come out like Nightwish to me. Yet this is the composer. And it's beautiful. And I'm in love with this song. I'm in love with the message. I'm in love with the song. And I love that it's the riches beyond money. It's almost saying, hey, you seek riches. Look at the real riches of life.
Is to keep countless gold fields to reap, to be riches to see, to relive the memory.
That was beautiful, wasn't it? That was beautiful. I know, and I can't wait to discover, it seems like he has a relationship with, obviously the comic or whatever that's going on there and the backstory that goes with it, but that song was so beautiful. Just as music, if I didn't even read the lyrics, if I just listened to it, I would have just, that's one of those songs where you put it on. You definitely don't want to go clean the house when you put it on, but if you want to think about your journey, if I wanted to just reflect on my path in pride, in the positive pride, not the negative, arrogant pride, but if I wanted to think about my journey and congratulate myself of sorts, reward myself, give myself that dopamine hit, which you are required to do, by the way. You should reward yourself. Low dopamine is not awesome. But if I wanted to reward myself with my journey and think, hey, I've sought the fields of gold that were not, monetary, this would be the song. In a way, this is what I love about art. Because Tuomas doesn't know me. Doesn't know me at all. Will I ever meet him? I really hope to. But we became contemporaries because of this song. And he did that on purpose. He writes it with enough room for me to write myself into it. And when I did, I became someone alongside him in this song. And you did too, if you felt your own way about this song. You became a contemporary with him. And the great artists will do that. And he has done that. He has allowed me the space to write myself into the song. And I did. And whether or not I was accurate or not to his initial meaning, he's okay with that. He has written me, he has allowed me to write myself into that song, and I did. And I feel almost in unison with him. Even if we speak slightly different language, and I mean context, not necessarily the actual language, like of speech, but the context of language. Even if we're not speaking the same language contextually, we are on the same path, on the same road in this song, and I felt that, and I think that's beautiful, and I think that's very difficult for somebody to do. Because, I mean, anybody can just go right. You can go right now. But could you give me the space to be there with you? That is difficult. That is tough. Because we want to tell the whole story. We want to give you the whole thing. We want to unfold every little bit of detail for you so that you don't have to think. And I think that's what American music misses. I think there's a lot of American music that just straight up just tells you what to think. And Tuomas here lets you think and gives you room to not be right or wrong, but to be you. Something that Dr. Dave Robertson says is, you are you, be you. You have to remember that. And even when you're listening to these songs, you are you, be you. And Tuomas is giving us that latitude here. He's giving us that room to be you while he is still saying something. And he's saying it both contextually, but also he's saying it literally in the lyrics. Countless gold fields to reap, to be rich is to seek. And then you get to relive the memory. He's telling you to go. Make of it what you will. Yours will be different than mine. Yours will be different than his. But you will be you, so go be you. And it's so beautiful. And I would absolutely love to sit down with him someday and just dissect the mind that is humble enough to allow art to be art. Because I think humility must be part of the art here. And a lot of people forget that humility exists for a reason. They forget how to tap into it. And Tuomas could write a song that would tell you how to think, but he would steal from the art, and he is an artist, and so he would not be himself, and he would be stealing from himself. So if an artist steals from you, he steals from himself. And I'm so glad he did this. I'm so glad he wrote this song. I'm definitely going to check out more. And I think a lot of people would listen to this and see the Scrooge McDuck stuff, and they would overlook what's being said here. But you're absolutely given leverage to make this about Scrooge McDuck. In the same tone as I'm thinking about an existential crisis of my seeking. You could also really love the comic, and you could go there in this space, and he's letting you do that. And that is true humility. Just powerful humility. I love, this group, Tuomas. Obviously, this is a solo project, but wow. That's beautiful. Thank you for giving me this journey, but also thank you to Tuomas if you ever see this. Thank you for giving me that moment with you in true artistic form. Thank you for that. Beautiful. And I appreciate your craft and your humility to do it. Wow.